It's the BS Sports Show.
It gives crappy people a chance to sort themselves out.
All right, welcome back. Thank you very much for the time you spend with us. It's a Monday night at Wrigley Field Bar and Grill where you'll always find us from 7 to 9, and that just means you can come on out and get $8 unlimited topping large pizzas or $1 Mighty Burgers, $1 pulled pork sandwiches, $1 chicken sandwiches, all good deals. Wash it down with $7 pitchers of domestics and $3 Sailor Jerry mixers. The dinner and drink specials, second to none here at the Fort's Best Damn Sports Bar. Plus, they got 8. Wow, I'm telling you, they got 8 days a week of a 7-day week of great specials. That's how many specials they have. They double them up. We're all tied up in wires and cords here right now. Thank you a million for spending some time with us. We are talking to Comet head coach Gary Graham right now, not traveling to Allen, Texas, to take on the Americans in Game 3 until Wednesday. Man, I know you can't wait to play Game 3, though, Coach. Last night, so close. You just never know how that puck's going to bounce when it gets to an OT. It just didn't work out for you last night in the OT.
We had to take a look at them today in video, and we had eight power plays that we gave up.
Yeah.
16 minutes. You're talking about close to almost a period of hockey shorthanded. So, we just have to. We feel like we're a better team 5-on-5. We got to find a way to stay out of the box and just take it one game at a time.
When you have a situation you've already dealt with, being down 0-2 in the first series against Cincinnati, that's got to give the guys a little confidence, knowing that it's a hole you certainly don't want to be in, but it's not something you can't overcome if you take the games one game at a time.
Yeah, we've shown the ability this year to go on the road and win big games, and I think that's really when our team the whole year has been better, is when we've been in these big spots on the road. I think sometimes on home ice we feel that we got to put a show on for the fans, maybe, and we look to make certain plays. I think when we get on the road naturally with our backs up against the wall, we do the things that we need to do, which is just keep it simple, get pucks to the net, get bodies to the net, and it's going to be, we never play down Allen's rink. I heard the fans are really hostile. It's going to be loud. It'll be an exciting environment, and it's a big opportunity for us to get back into the series.
Yeah.
How do you jumpstart the Komets' power play? There's been some issues, obviously, on the power play. Allen's been good on it. The Komets have struggled. How do you jumpstart the power play?
Well, we were good to get the one power play. We went 25%, so we went 1 for 4 the other night. But again, we had 2 power plays that were very ugly.
Sure.
And we need some guys to elevate their game. We had to challenge some guys today. We have some of our top guys that frankly haven't played well in the first 2 games, and you can't hide from that. You have to take accountability and look in the mirror. And I'll give you a couple things here. You would be blown away if I told you this. Would you believe that Sean Zedlowski had 0 shots for the first time ever last night in game?
Wow.
Yes. Alex Belzile through the first 2 games has 1 shot on goal. Mike Embach through 2 games has 2 shots on goal. Kyle Thomas has 1 shot on goal through 2 games. We have some guys that need to elevate, and we got to challenge these guys and try to get it out of them.
Why was that? I mean, how can that happen? How does that? Are they sitting back and relying too much on teammates? Are they being too defensive? Why does that happen?
Well, we've passed up chances to shoot. Again, looking for that extra pass, looking for that pretty play. And against a team that's very good defensively, you have to take what is given to you. So, again, sometimes off the rush, you just got to shoot it off the rush and drive the net. And we've had some guys that just aren't willing to do that right now. And we have to get back to playoff mode. It's very similar right now to the way we played the first 2 games against Cincinnati. We were trying to play the same type of hockey we played during the regular season in the postseason, and it's just not the same.
So what's going to be different about trying to come back against these Allen Americans than it was for the Cincinnati Cyclones?
I think there's a lot of similarities. I mean, again, for me, I've challenged the group the whole year. It's almost like the Fort Wayne Komets might as well be playing the Fort Wayne Komets.
Yeah.
It's what team's going to show up. We've been Jekyll and Hyde the whole year, whether it's discipline, whether it's penalties. I really think that we're the better team. We believe that. There's no doubt in my mind that we can claw back in this thing just like we did the first series. But we got to take it one game at a time. We need a good Game 3, and we need everybody to elevate.
These teams haven't played since the CHL. Where'd all the chippiness come from? A lot of fights. Some before the game yesterday. Where'd all the chippiness come from and the bad blood between these 2 teams?
Well, I think what happened in warm-ups was our backup goalie, Spencer Martin, I didn't see it, but I heard about it. The league's going to do something about it.
Yeah.
Was tripped at the red line. And when that happened, obviously, guys are going to meet. It reminded me of when we played Reading my first year as head coach here, and there was almost a brawl that happened in warm-ups. But luckily, both teams, nothing happened, which is good because guys would have got suspended for that. But I think, both teams want to push the pace physically. We won the fight card, but we would have rather won the game. And I think what we need to do is understand that we want to play these guys physically and not get pushed around. A big thing about Allen when they're playing with confidence is that they want to be physical and they try to intimidate teams. Well, we have a more physical, better fighting team than they do, frankly, and I think they realize that now. But we gotta score more goals than they do, plain and simple.
Yeah. Talking to Comet head coach Gary Graham, his team finds themselves in a 0-2 hole in the Western Conference Finals against the defending Kelly Cup champs, the Allen Americans, and now the series shifts to Texas for games 3, 4, and 5, where mindset is the same as round one. You definitely want to take each game at a time, and you're definitely going to need to take 2 of 3 on the road so that you guys don't have your backs completely against the wall and put yourselves on the brink of elimination. But it all starts with game 3.
Yeah, you just got to start with one. This team this year has the ability to get extremely hot. You take a look before we lost game 1.
Yeah.
I think we won, 8 of 9 or something in the playoffs. We had 2 different times during the regular season where we went on some tremendous runs. And so this team can get hot, and when it gets hot, it can get going, and we just got to get hot again. But you got to get hot starting with the first game.
Do you look to move a guy around like Burke, who's playing exceptionally well and scored a bunch of goals? Do you move him onto a different line, or do you try to keep things status quo?
Good question. Yeah, we're definitely considering some line changes starting in practice tomorrow. We feel that's a couple things have gotten a little bit stale. I think Belzeal's one of those guys. We got to find a way of getting him going. He's too talented of a player right now to not be contributing. We got to find a way of putting some assets around him to get him going. And I think if we can get 2 lines going consistently scoring, we'll be fine. But right now, we've had 1 line basically going in this series, and the other 2 haven't been doing squat. So we got to find a way of getting spreading the wealth around.
Jamie Shaftsma probably knows that team better than anybody in the Komets organization. How is he helping with your preparations for the Allen Americans?
Well, he can give you some insight on some personnel things. I think
tendencies.
Yeah, some tendencies. I think with understanding your opponent, as a coach, you look at the video, you're looking more systems than X's and O's.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't know maybe how to get underneath a guy's skin, what irritates a guy.
Yeah.
Is he more prone to turnovers in certain situations? So, he understands the weaknesses of some guys where we can get after him, and we've tried to exploit some of those things. So, he's a great asset to the team, and I think he's played some really good hockey. The first night, he was a +3,
right.
And that line of Shaftsma, Berkey, and Chika really carried us the first night. But then we try to move Shaftsma into Belzeal and Cal Thomas's line, and frankly, nothing happened there. We moved Mbach to with Cheek and Berkey, and really, again, not much going on there. So we got to find the right chemistry here to get all 3 lines going again.
Allen seemed to make that extra pass a lot to where they've caught Pat Nagel out of position. Is that a reason you think some of your guys are making the extra pass instead of shooting the puck? Because Allen has done very well of making that extra pass and catching Pat Nagel on the other side of the goal and out of position.
Yeah, I think the first game really, you were at both games, Mo. The first game, you could definitely see it at a couple different times. They got a lot of skill. You can see why this team was so successful and why they've won so many championships. They have some guys that really can play with some poise and some patience with the puck, and you got to make sure that you protect the weak side ice and just instead of leaving the net front area, just kind of hold your ground and let Nags have the easy shot as opposed to these blind backdoor passes that sometimes you'll see Allen throw. They look for the extra pass. We're not really a team like that. We're built to more drive the net and get pucks to the net. And I think for whatever reason we've tried to play that style of game with these guys, and it's not effective. So we have to adapt, and we got to do what we do best, and that's play on the cycle in the offensive zone, get pucks to the net, and go from there.
We know that coaches in any sport at any level sometimes get too much credit for wins and take too much heat for losses. I know you're a guy not afraid to look in the mirror, and you're not afraid to answer a tough question. Is there anything after the first 2
I think, the biggest challenge for us was not playing for a whole week.
Yeah.
If I look at anything, it's how we practiced that week.
Mm-hmm.
I liked our practices on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We made sure that we were competing.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing was, we wanted to keep competing and make it hard on the guys. But, I just think we were riding too high off of winning 8-9 games. We had a lot of confidence, and I think, again, once we gave up that shorthanded goal right away on Friday night, it was a bad goal to give up. The momentum, you're either on the right side of momentum or you're on the wrong side.
Right.
And it seems like we've been caught on the wrong side of some momentum already. And I think just generally, guys, maybe this series or just whether we're playing the defending champs and we know the stage is bigger, some guys are playing a little bit tight. We just got to loosen up and play with the confidence that we were playing with. We were winning all those games, and we'll be fine.
Has there been any thought of looking at Spencer Martin in goal any of the games down in Texas?
Right now, now we're in a must-win situation, if you ask me.
Yeah.
And, I challenged myself on that after Game 2 against Cincinnati about making a change, and couple sleepless nights almost, but I decided to go with Nags just because, again, Nags has the experience in these big game situations. I think Spencer's young. He's got a tremendous upside. The kid's only 21 years old, but he doesn't have a lot of playoff big game experience. And for me, I'd rather go with experience at this point.
Was there a thought in Game 1 of making a switch after the 3-0 hole?
Yes, there was. Yeah, but we scored that one goal.
At the end of the period?
At the end of the period.
Yeah. All right. So, it's like you said it yourself. It's almost a must-win situation in Game 3 in Allen. But at the same time, you got to keep the team loose, not tighten up, not try to do too much. Man, that's a hard thing to balance, isn't it? Knowing that it's a must-win, but we still got to, kind of play loose and play smart.
Well, we had a meeting today after we had our team meeting. I met with the captains, and basically I told them the same thing. I said, we have a lot of guys this is their first real playoff experience.
Right.
I mean, we have a lot of guys that have been playing hockey a long time that haven't been on this stage in the playoffs. So, I told the captain, I said, listen, just do me a favor. The only thing I need you guys to do is just keep the locker room loose.
Right.
Just keep the locker room loose. I said, because I'm going to have to be tougher in some spots here, but I need you guys to keep the guys loose, have some fun. It's a great group of guys. I mean, this has probably been the most enjoyable group of guys I've coached, and I've been coaching a long time. So, I mean, it's a special group, and, we've done a lot of special things this year. We just got to continue to believe in one another, trust each other, and we can make this happen. We get the first game, I think we're going to be good.
What do you say going in the locker room after the first period on Friday night, down 3-1?
I can't say that over the air.
Because I sat there and I wondered, how do you approach that? Do you go in, extremely pissed off, but you got a goal at the end of the first period? It kind of swung momentum a little bit your way, but it was a horrible first period. How do you talk to the guys after that? Do you think about that the last couple of minutes of the period, what you're going to say to the guys going in after something like that?
Everything's off the cuff. Everything's off the cuff, and it's usually not good.
Yeah.
In a situation like that.
Right. Do the captains talk to the guys in after you're done with your tirade?
Yeah. I mean, it just depends. I mean, I don't like to be the crazy guy, but sometimes it needs to be done. Yeah, I think you got to pick your spots as a coach. It's a long season, and they're just like your kids. They're going to tune you out if you do it too much. So you have to pick the right spots. And I think, again, the guys know I preach accountability more than anything with myself first and foremost, and it stems down to every guy on the team. And I think that, the one thing after the first period was we also just had to reset, just take a deep breath and let's just reset everything here. You know what I mean? It was, a lot of times with me, let's just call a spade a spade. We were shit. We were shit. I mean, so let's just get it figured out and get back at it. And I thought we had a really good second.
Responded.
We had a good second period, and we found a way of really getting in the game. But, again, in the third period, that fourth goal killed us. We made it 3-2, and, that goal they scored on the face-off, it was, we had all the momentum in the world, and I thought if we could have tied that game, we're going to win this thing if it goes into overtime. But, they buried another one.
Yeah, because less than 2 minutes later, you guys score a goal to make it 4-3, so you were that close to it being all tied up.
Yeah.
All right, talking to Comet head coach Gary Graham. Down 0-2, got to get to work on Wednesday in Texas. Going to get there. You're going to skate as soon as you can on that ice and feel what that rink is like.
Yeah, we play Thursday, so we have a travel day Wednesday. We don't practice Wednesday.
You're not going to get on the ice at all?
So we'll have a morning skate on Thursday, like normal, and then we play on Thursday. So it's a little bit different than our Utah trip to where we were able to get out there a day early, have a practice. the day before. But, we're just going to have a good practice tomorrow and try to get some system stuff down tomorrow. We had an optional today. We had a lot of guys play a lot of minutes last night. Yeah. So, we want to try to give the guys as much rest when we can during the playoffs. We've been grinding away at them. So, we had some rest today. But tomorrow we'll have a good skate, be ready to go.
Was there an option to try to get there to travel tomorrow and not Wednesday?
That would be a management question, not a coach question.
Right, so it wasn't discussed?
No.
It just was set up that this is what you're going to do. You're going to get there on Thursday. You're going to play a game that night.
Yep.
All right. Sometimes you wonder if there's rhyme or reason, but sometimes you just can't say that it's an advantage to get there on Tuesday per se. Sometimes it's better to stay home a couple days. What about Cincinnati's mess that they dealt with when they took the first 2 games from you here in Fort Wayne? They couldn't even stay in Fort Wayne, for crying out loud. So you talk about a team with bad travel issues. Yeah, you can't blame travel issues. Just thought it was worth the question as to if there was any thought about getting out there a day earlier, or if there was a rhyme or reason to staying.
I would just
imagine longer.
We use a great travel company. I'll give them a shameless plug, Gruninger Travel. They're awesome. So, for whatever reason, we're leaving on Wednesday. I'm sure it has something to do with the availability.
Sure.
When you fly in a big group, it's a direct flight, which is great in Fort Wayne now. You can fly direct to Dallas.
Perfect.
So, like when our guys were coming back and forth from San Antonio, it's a direct flight from Dallas to Fort Wayne, and it's an easy either drive over to Dallas or you go to San Antonio to Dallas and right into Fort Wayne. So
sure.
That's the way we're traveling, and it is what it is.
Was it hard for you not to be able to practice Saturday after the game Friday night? I'm sure you want to get on the ice and get some things ironed out. Was it hard? I know Alan, they went to see a Cubs game. Was it hard for you guys not to get out and get on the ice on Saturday?
I don't think so. I mean, we had a long week of practice. Again, we practiced. That's the whole thing. When you sweep a team,
sure,
and then you're practicing all week, you guys got to remember it's a long season.
Yeah.
So again, the last thing these guys want to be doing really right now is practicing.
Yeah.
I mean, really by now they're already in the best shape they're going to be in. Really, there's nothing you can do there. System wise, you can do most of your adjustments on video, and they're just gamers right now. So you try to keep them in a routine. And this past week, it was kind of a different routine because, again, we were able to get rid of Utah so early. But, we can't make excuses for the situation we're in. We're here for a reason. We weren't good enough the first 2 games. We got to get better in a hurry.
All right, Coach. Well, we're going to let you slide. But get out there and kick some butt at Allen, Texas. Take the Americans to the boards and show them what Comet hockey is all about. Had to suck right off the bat to fall behind 3-0 and climb out of a hole Friday night, and then get so close yesterday. To have that hard-fought game you think's going to go your own way, and it just didn't work out that way in the overtime. So,
well, like I always say, if you're willing to embrace the great victories, you have to be willing to embrace the losses, and that's just the way it is. So.
I'm not going to lie to you. Mo's I'm surprised Gary's in here smiling a little bit. We're surprised there's even a smile on your face.
Mo looks depressed from being at the game tonight.
It was a tough couple of games, but
tell him why you blame Jerry.
At least he got some free tickets.
Well, yeah, you're right. I did. Thank you.
He wants to blame Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry went down and got ice cream in the middle between the third period and overtime. I was like, that's stupid to do.
The hell did he get ice cream there for?
They scored quick and you got to take it home. So you had to take ice cream in my car and spilled some. But just so you know, I know we're in routines. You came out here after you went down 2-0 to Cincinnati and you guys won. Have you thought about going sans glasses on the bench?
Hold on a sec. Doing what?
Going without your glasses.
Going without the glasses?
Minus glasses.
Do you remember that series? Did I tell you that story this year?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I thought that's why you were bringing that up. I thought we talked.
No,
so ironic.
You switched suit colors, I know.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to blacks now. So that's the whole thing. So game 3, I was on a good run with all my brown stuff. So now I'm going back to the black pinstripe suit look and black shoes, and we're going to go with that now.
I just thought maybe you go minus glasses. I always see you without your glasses. It's so weird to see you with glasses on the bench.
Well, I have to see. I'm a blind old man.
He can see from
Shaffy do that for you.
He can see from here to you, but he can't see the other side of the ice.
Yeah.
Shaffy
if I'm in the movie theater, I gotta have weather glasses.
Shaffy get fired up at all over the weekend. Did he say anything that would just knock our socks off?
Well, the word, you keep asking me the same question.
I know.
Okay, so I got the word for you finally. Okay,
you got it.
I finally got the word that I've started listening to him more. So if you want to hear the word that's used the most, and I can't speak it in Russian. Well, it's not Russian. He's saying it in English, but it sounds funny. Is when he gets mad, unbelievable, unbelievable,
unbelievable,
unbelievable. It's all everything's unbelievable. You go in there, after they score a goal, the first thing, unbelievable.
I'm sure
that's his go-to word.
Well, you had to hear it a ton then over the weekend, I'm sure, with the officiating. I know you can't comment on it, but I will. It was all horrible.
I can't comment, but I had some choice words.
Coach, thanks for coming out, man. Much appreciated.
Thanks, guys.
Turn this thing around, please. Got to see a Comet home game again here this playoff season here, and then the continuation on the quest for the Kelly Cup over the upstart Allen Americans. You did it before. You can do it again. And thanks again for coming out, man.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, and thanks to the listeners.
Gary Graham, Comet head coach, has got his work cut out for him again. And like I said, he and the team have done it before. If nothing else, they're like, well, we've already done this, guys. All we got to do is go to their barn and get another win in Game 3.
And it'll be fine because Jerry won't be there buying ice cream at the end of the third period, dumbass. I was like, what are you doing? How do you just go get 4 scoops of ice cream in between there and overtime? That's a bad jinx right there.
And there will be a lot less pressure on Coach Graham because he won't have to worry about getting you tickets all the time, too.
You're right.
A lot less things to worry about.
It is a lot less to worry about.
Guys got.
I'm just saying, it's a bad omen when you buy ice cream at the end of a third period. You don't do that. You don't go to the concession stand at the end of a third period.
Let's take a break and then finish up this show. Pittsburgh started 2-0. Now Tampa Bay on the board 2-1 with 1:45 left in the first period with Pittsburgh down 1-0 in the Eastern Conference Finals. They've yet to tip off the other playoff game tonight. That would be at Golden State, where the Warriors host the Oklahoma City Thunder in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals of the NBA playoffs. Stick around. We wrap up the show next, live from Wrigley Field Bar and Grill every Monday night, 7 to 9. Mo Times at Mo Radio Show. I'm at Billy Elvis at BS Sports The Fan. This is the BS Sports Show.